What's up, my wonderful Wargaming friends? Today we take the first and kind of only real step towards getting this game on the table, and that is that we need to create our 5-man team to go and deal with the alien menace of force and protect the world from alien invasion and eventual takeover and slavery and extinction. So let's get into it. So obviously we need the book or the PDF if that's the way you prefer. We need a copy of the roster sheet as well as the base sheet, and then a pencil or pen or whatever it is that you like to fill these kinds of things out with. Step one is to choose a single member of my team to be the commander. For my team, that'll be this gentleman right here, Lieutenant Daniel Jameson, DJ for short. The next move is to assign stats to everyone, for which we skip down a little bit, and these are the starting stats. From these, we can then roll 2d6 and add the total to the stat that is in question. Now, the commander model, in the process of doing this, has the bonus of rolling that 2d6 bonus twice for each of their stats and taking the best option from each. So, for example, his acuity will start at 5, 2d6. So I can have +5 or I can have +8. So obviously I'm going to take the +8 because the higher number is better. So I'm going to go through, apply all my stats, and we'll take a look at what the sheet looks like after that. So after that, we've got all of our starting stats complete after a lot of rolling and a little bit of basic math. All the starting stats are 5, and nobody starts with psionic unless you belong to a certain faction. So in that case, there's nothing, pretty straightforward process. Once you've got your final stats, you can go ahead and record your stat bonuses. The breaks are different for each stat, but the first break is usually between 13 and 15 or so. And that gives you some little bonuses based on how good you are at certain stats, or how strong you are, fast you are, tough you are, whatever. I got a couple of those. Not everybody got one, and nobody got one for dexterity for me. Next up, we come to choosing a faction, of which, as the name implies, there are 13. So a lot of choices here, each with their own small bonuses. We're going to go through them real briefly right here. I'm not even going to go too deep into the bonuses right now, just kind of a brief overview. We have ODEAR, or ODEAR, which is the most tightly run government organization, predominantly a research organization. We have the Psyops, which are the only faction that allow you to have psionics as a human being. We have the Agricultural League, which, as throughout history, as we know, with crop circles and cattle mutilations, farmers and ranchers have been hit hard by the alien presence. So they have their own kind of way of helping to deal with and protect that. We have Industrial Arms, as it implies, the name. These are the people that make the gun. Their guns are the best guns. Next, we have the Sanctum, which is the religious hand in Majestic 13, and they come with their own special base that they get access to. We have the Silicon Syndicate, which are our kind of tech mogul branch. We have the Naturalized, which are actually a group of Greys that help to fight and protect against other aliens. The Women's Defense Force, which I wish that I had models that would fit this, because this seems fun. It's different. Roughnecks, which are our standard kind of hard-working, heavy-hitting, blue-collar soldiers of fortune. Section 6, which evolved mostly out of the British spy network, and is, as it applies, mostly spies, very, very covert, under the radar, even more so than the others. The Hippocratic Mercy, which are doctors in the field. They're primarily concerned with how the study of aliens can help humanity. We have the 1%, which are the incredibly wealthy who have wanted a seat at the table for quite some time because they control the rest of the world. Why not this too? And then we have the Dispersed, which are almost kind of like a back alley collective of hackers, mercenaries, academics, general ne'er-do-well types, and they get some bonuses. Right now, I'm kind of bouncing back and forth between Dispersed and Industrial Arms. And after some careful deliberation, I'm going to go with the Dispersed. So our bonuses there are Disruptive Tactics, which allows us to deploy anywhere on the board. Sneaky Advantage. It also allows us to deploy Hidden, to start the game hidden. Then we have Sneaky Advantage, which gives us a second advantage, which is our next thing that we're going to choose. But then we have Outsiders, which this is kind of the only faction that has a drawback, which is kind of why I want to play them. And their drawback is that when they do their bureaucracy roll to requisition things in the postgame, they have to roll with disadvantage. So they roll twice and take the lowest result. Still get all their modifiers, but it seems interesting. So we're going to go with it. Next, we come to advantages, where normally you would pick one. Here, I get to pick two. And there are quite a few of these things. For my two advantages that I get, I'm going to go with Armored Team. So everybody gets a suit of body armor. And I'm also going to go with Reinforced Dermal Layering, which gives me a damage reduction. Then we come to gear, where everybody gets a phase 1 weapon, and then you get a total of 3 extra pieces of gear for the team. So we're going to go through our weapons list, figure out what we want, and go from there. So we're all equipped up. We've got mostly a mix of heavy repeating rifles and assault rifles, with an explosive launcher thrown in the mix. And for my 3 extra pieces of equipment, I took a med kit, a scanner, and a scope on my explosive launcher. Last thing to do before we can get in the game is to set up our base. So there are several different types of bases, each coming with their own bonuses. And then we've got some expansions. Those will come later. For now, we just need a basic setup. And for me, the one that makes the most sense, I think, is going to be the Urban Infiltration base. This is going to be set up deep in city underneath a bodega or a hidden tunnel in the subways or something along those lines. We excel at responding and containing things in urban environments. So when we roll on the foobar chart, we treat 3 to a 7 as no event instead of civilians. However, we also, in an urban environment, we get +5 to our initiative. However, in a special mission, we have -5 initiative penalty during the first round. But that's what I'm going to go with. It's Urban Infiltration base. The last thing to do is show you guys the team. So first up, as we've already seen, we have our commander, Daniel Jameson, or DJ. We have our big bad breacher, Maui. Our medic, Fenrir. Ghost, our standard issue, just soldier type. Nobody knows a lot about the guy. And as every good group does need, we have a wild card. This is Alexander the Red, who just absolutely refuses to follow dress code regulations. He's not going to do it. And that, my friends, makes up my team for Majestic 13. So the next time we talk about Majestic 13, this game from Snarling Badger Studios, we'll be putting it on the table to hopefully murderate some aliens. Thanks so much for tuning in. I hope you found this helpful or entertaining or found something positive in it for yourself, and I hope you have an absolutely amazing rest of your day. And as always, I'd like to say a big, huge, from the bottom of my heart, thank you to our patrons who support us and pledge to us over on Patreon. You guys are the absolute best. If you enjoyed the content you saw here today and that's something that you would like to consider doing to help out the channel, go over there, check out the link in the description, check out the Patreon. There's a lot of cool stuff over there, including access to our Discord server, talk to me, hang out with me, talk about our work, what we got going on in the hobby, some shout outs, all kinds of cool stuff. Check it out if that's something that you think you would be into. And regardless of whether or not you do that, I want you to know that I am incredibly grateful that you decided to stop by and spend part of your day with me today, rolling dice and pushing toy soldiers around. I hope you have an amazing rest of your day. And as always, may the dice be ever in your favor.